Hands ain't want to cooperate, man. No, I'm gonna stick with it one more time. Listen, well, tell me when.
I do.
Okay, tell me about it.
Welcome to Backroads Truth, the podcast where faith meets melody, hosted by ICMA Artist of the Year, singer-songwriter, Justin Todd Herod.
Thank you. In Jesus' mighty name. Our guest today, man, Robert Reiser. Thanks for coming back and joining us today.
Oh, yeah,
man.
pleasure.
You told me last time you would, and I appreciate you doing that, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Glad to have you here. You remember anything about that song? Do you know anything about that?
I do. It's a powerful message. It really tugs at my heart.
Well, do you remember anything about the video we shot?
I do.
Okay, tell me about it.
Well, to start off, Jeff, he sent me a message one day.
Jeff's our producer, by the way, so one of our producers.
Yeah, he said, hey, I want to cast you in a music video.
Okay.
I said, okay, sure. I figured it'd be, the artist playing his instrument, singing the song, and I'd just kind of be like an extra, Then he explained to me how he was going to do it. Mm-hmm. And I went, oh, no. What am I getting into? Because I have no acting experience at all, no background in that at all. Right. He said, oh, you'll be fine. He said, we'll do it. He kind of told me what the character and said, oh, okay, I can do that. So we rolled with it and had a good time with it.
Well, Jeff, one of our producers, we've got some great producers on the show. I'll never forget. I was at the gun range. Yes, you heard me, at the gun range. I was at the gun range, and we were shooting, man. And I always take his call, and he called me up and he said, man, have you ever thought about doing a music video? I said, man, I have. I just don't have the money. I don't have the crew. I can't invest in something like that. I'm just doing. I can't make albums, make records. He said, we want to do one. He said, my big question for you. He said, do you want to be in it? And I said, I have no desire to be in one. And that was the honest truth. And it was the same kind of deal because I wasn't afraid to be in it. I just thought I don't need to be in it. He said, well, most artists, all they want to do is them playing a guitar or something or piano and be in the video. And I said, well, that's just not me. I'm more about the story. And I said, the star, I want it to be the message, which is the message of that song. So I was kind of like captivated by the concept as much as you were, but we had to pick some characters, or they did. And so you were one of the characters that I think was, like, in my opinion, man, very instrumental, very visual, and very crucial. If you notice when I sang that a while ago, I said, he worked out in the oil field, lost his family to the speed. Let me just, before I say anything else, that's fictional. That did not happen to you. You didn't do that. But last time you were with us, you told us all about your experience in the oil field. Mm-hmm. So you weren't really actually acting, dude. That was real for you, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, the character.
Yes, sir. I working in the oil field, I saw what happens to guys that would get on that stuff, and it's not good. And I saw how it affected their relationships at home. They would actually lose their family. Their wife would leave them. They'd come back and wow. So I've seen what it can do.
You portrayed that with a lot of zest and a lot of reality, because I know that you have a heart, and it hurts your heart to see. And folks, listen, man, that's a hard environment. And this song, really, when you write a song, you're not documenting someone's life so much. You're trying to make a story and using some things that are factual, some things that are not, and just to make a good story. But I know my son's in the oil field business, and I know a lot of friends, my family, a lot of them were, and I just know that is reality. There's a lot of things, man, that can, really hurt a person, and the whole song is about second chances. So, that's the deal. I'm gonna insert a story real quick, if you don't mind. That I'm gonna get you to talk a little bit. But I was at a hotel one time, man, and I was on the road. I've been in hotels half my life, and it's a little old rattle trap place. I ain't lying, it was a rattle trap, dude. But it was mostly to keep oilfield people when they're traveling, like you've probably done before. And I was in this thing, and I'd left out. I was in a revival meeting down there, and I was staying in this little rattle trap. And I left out to go to the gym, and I had my sweats on. I had one of them wife beaters on, hat flipping around backwards, and my sweats and my cowboy boots. And I come walking back, and there was two old hands out there grilling steaks, and had about 95 beer bottles, man, sitting on the table. And they said, hey, man, what outfit you work for? and the tattoos and, the hat and all that. And I said, man, I'm not oilfield. I said, I love y'all. I love what y'all do. I said, I'm a singer, man. And I said, I'm also in a revival down here. And they said, you a preacher? And I said, well, kind of. They said, well, you don't look like one. I said, well, I've heard that all my life. I heard it all my life. And so I invited them to church, and I went and got them a couple CDs. And the guy said, no, man, we ain't religious folks. I said, well, I'm not either. I just got a relationship with God and everything. And one of them that had been doing most of the talking, I went on back to my room, and he followed me in there. He's about 290, man, big old boy, man, big beard, man. I mean, big old bear, man, And he come and followed me, and he said, hey, man, he said, it's a true story. He said, man, you look like a pretty rough dude. And I said, well, I used to be, and I kind of still am. He said, you look like me. I'll never forget that. I said, well, I am like you. I said, man, I've been through that stuff, man. I've been through everything, man. I've had a tough life. And then he said, will you pray for me? He said, I'm about to lose my family. I'm strung out. I'm an alcoholic. And he said, would you pray for me? I'm about to lose my job, my wife, my kids. I put both my hands on his chest, and I just began to pray for him. And the tears just began to flow down his face. And that's how that song really got started, was that incident. Because I saw a guy that was really going through all that, and he needed that second chance. And I could hear him in there in his room crying and sobbing, man. So when we were doing this video, we needed somebody. I didn't choose the characters, obviously. We needed somebody who would have a little bit of a knowledge of that background. And, buddy, you made it look like butter, man,
Oh, thank you.
There was a scene, man. I don't see if you remember this. You remember this?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that thing a little bit, man.
Would you? Well, when Jeff was kind of talking me through how he wanted me to do the scene, I kind of got a little aggressive with the hat.
You did?
I slammed it down kind of hard.
You did.
The headgear popped out of it and had to put it all back. He said, no, don't look like you're going to go out there trying to kill somebody.
Right.
And he said, okay, so I had to tone it down a little bit.
Well, I'm glad you didn't tone it down, because that scene's one of my favorite. And all through the video, man, it shows you, as you're getting your second chance, it shows you with your own welding company, which is that's not fiction. You have that.
Yes, sir.
Or you did have. You're still doing it.
Yes, sir.
It showed you out there, man. I love when you started up that welder, man, and it's like, that's like a new start, That's what I saw in that, right? Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
I did, man.
Yeah.
You're dusting it off, man, and you fired that welder up, and all of a sudden, it starts doing it, and then there we see you with this determined look in your eyes, and then that one time when you're fixing that gate and you pull that chain, man, it's like, man, there's like a brand new shine to this guy's life. I saw all this imagery in there, because that's the way my mind works, But then there was one time in there, man, where you had another guest in the video that I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but your daughter.
Yes, sir.
Taylor, she played a part in there, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, totally not her, though.
I know. Talk
Totally
about that
her.
if you don't mind, if you can.
Yeah, it's might be a little difficult.
That's okay. It's all right.
I what gets me is I look at what could have been.
Yes.
We all have struggles through life.
Yes, sir.
And so I just think about what could have happened if I'd gone down a wrong road, and it really gets me right here.
I'm gonna pause for a minute, man, just let you think through it, and you can talk about that if you want to. But I know what I see going on in your heart and your mind, that it's not just the song, it wasn't just the video, it was the fact that you probably are relating to a lot of families that maybe did make those right choices like you did.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that didn't make, they went on and followed that and maybe failed and had some problems and did lose their family.
Yes, sir.
And you're probably thinking that through as you're acting in this thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Well, thank God that you made the right choice, and you didn't have to come to that second chance, way like a lot of people did. But your daughter, man, she's I hope you think maybe we can get her on as a guest sometime?
I think so.
I hope so.
Yeah, she's quite busy right now, but maybe we can find a time slot she can.
I hope so.
Get over here.
She really nailed that, man. She nailed that character, and it was, of course, the girl that says, she gave her heart to the needle, which, like she said, that is the complete polar opposite of what she is. She's a graduate. Tell me what she's doing with this foundation. What is it?
Well, she it's kind of like other organizations like Ducks Unlimited. They have chapters in different cities.
You told us a little bit about it, but redefine it if you could.
Well, it's Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, and they are trying to preserve the habitat for the elk. And
Man,
she's trying to start new chapters in different parts of the state in her territory, and they call it a banquet, and they try to raise money and for the foundation for the elk preservation.
I know you're awfully proud of her, man.
Oh yeah, super proud. I'm really proud of my son as well.
Oh yeah, he's a engineer,
Electrical maintenance.
Maintenance, gotcha. Wow. So a lot of the stuff that you did like you told us last time, you made some choices to get out of the oil field and you begin to get your own business so you could be home and be there with the kids. Those were big sacrifices, I'm sure, for you, but you made some wise choices to be there to help raise them and bring them to the stability they have now and everything.
Yeah.
So you gave them an opportunity not to have to, I'm not saying you did, but I mean, they had to make their own way. But I mean, by you being there, they didn't have to really come to that second chance place like the girl in the video did,
right.
you know. Well, I just want to say that, you know, she and you, and I think your family appears in it at the very end, right? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because you see some great imagery in that, you know, with, you know, even with the brother, when she catches you'll see it, guys. And hopefully you'll go check it out. And she gets poked a little bit by the brother with that poking marshmallow thing. And there was also some times there I thought there's some great imagery there that there's still going to be times in your life that, you know, for the character's sake, that old thing's still poking at you, man. You know, trying to call you back, you know.
Yeah.
And there was one moment in the video where she puts the phone down and she doesn't take the call because she's going to school, going to college. And it always left kind of our viewers and our people wondering, is that the dad calling or is that the drug dealer calling? And so one of the things in the video that kind of shone out to me was it wasn't just a second chance for you to get yourself clean or her to get herself clean, but it was a second chance for that reconciliation of the daughter and the dad. That was powerful.
Yeah.
You didn't go through that, but y'all played it very well.
Right.
Is that kind of what makes you tear up a little bit to think what could have been, man?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Really?
Definitely. And it doesn't matter how many times I watch it or listen to it.
Wow. Well, Robert, I'm going to tell you something, man. I know you said you didn't have any acting ability or you didn't ever done it. I never have done it either. I'm trying to get involved because I always dreamt of doing it. I love doing it. But you did an outstanding job just, you know, and it was, I'm not saying it was easier for you, but it was more believable because you've actually been there. You know, you've done that. You've done that type of life. You've lived that life, but you've got the heart, I believe, to understand what this song really means. And I think that's what I'm trying to get at. You understand the concept of the song, even though it wasn't real, it wasn't your real life. I think you kind of saw into this as what the message should be, to portray the message for the people. And you know, I want to tell you something interesting, and I don't normally talk about this kind of stuff, but it's up for Video of the Year this year at the ICMA, which is the Inspirational Country Music Association in Nashville, Tennessee at the Grand Ole Opry. And I'm going to be playing at the Grand Ole Opry, performing the song with not just an average band, but the Opry House band there. And I'll be playing it, performing it live, and they're going to show the video up there on a big, kind of a big screen thing. And I don't know if you and your family are going to get to be, I don't know, you might, if you can, I'd love for y'all to come if you can be there, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If it did win, which I hope it does, here's what you're going to come on stage, you and your family are going to talk a little bit. You up for that?
Okay.
That'll be fun, right? I'm
up for that.
Oh, you could do it too, man. Well, one last thing I guess I'd like to just ask you about is that if you see a video like this, or say if you were just if you didn't know anything about it, say that Jeff never called you up and asked you to be in it, and you were just scrolling through YouTube or maybe watching it on somewhere, maybe you went to a website and somebody recommended you watch it, how would it impact you if you were a person, say that took that wrong turn out there in the oil field, so that you maybe it got a hold of you like it did that old big boy I prayed for out at that old Rattle Trap Hotel? Do you think that video would impact your life, just seeing that message?
Definitely. I really.
In what way do you think?
Well, it's just the message that I get from it. Like I said earlier, everybody has gone through some kind of struggle in their life. Not everybody's perfect,
That's exactly right.
But if you just listen to the words of the song,
Okay.
you will get the message.
Wow.
I don't know how else to explain it.
Well, you're explaining it fine, and I think his portrayal of the oilfield man and the song itself, it says there's power in a second chance. And that second chance is not just getting your family back. That's a great one. It's not just getting your daughter back. That's a great one. You know, in an earlier episode, or one of our episodes, you saw the cigar puffing preacher, you know, Larry Wells, and he was with us, and he got his wife back, got his church back. You know, country music has always been about, you know, they jokingly say you play a country record backwards, you get your wife back, your dog back, your house back, and all that, and that's funny. But you get something greater in this second chance, and it's not just your stuff. You get a second chance at having the greatest opportunity that has ever been afforded to mankind, by having a chance to not only have hope in this life, but hope for all eternity. And that second chance is offered by something that you see at the very end of the video. A simple scripture pops up. It says, "For by grace you've been saved, not of yourself, it's a free gift, lest any man should boast." If you're an oil field hand, you're watching me today, or you're somebody that's addicted and you're going through something today, or you're a person that maybe said, "Man, I failed and I blew it," I want to tell you what, that grace is available for you. And it's nothing, man, listen, Robert and myself are not up here boasting about how we saved ourselves, because you don't save yourself. The second chance is given to you because it's given to you freely by God's love, because God loves you. He cares for you. And he wants you to have not only a second chance in this life to have the things maybe that you've lost, to recover those things, but to have hope for all eternity. And that's only one way. That's by believing and trusting in his son, Jesus Christ, and truly putting your faith in that and realizing that God did that for you because he loves you and wants to give you that hope. And I hope today you would do that. You can simply do that by just confessing and believing and say, "Lord, I believe you, trust you, and I want you to come into my life. I surrender my life to you." And I know the power of that personally in my life. You know the power of that personally in your life, right?
Yeah.
Amen. Well, it's been great, and I don't know how many more times we can get you, because you may be out doing obstacle course horse. What'd you call that last time?
It's EXCA.
EXCA.
Extreme Cowboy Association.
It's an extreme cowboy, oil field, roughneck. He wasn't rough. He moved up, man. Extreme guy right here, and I'm telling you something, man. You are not only an additive to that video, but you're an additive to this program, man. To have you and your spirit, man, your heart today. Thank you for being part of that working class, man, and part of that that wonderful Backroads Truth, symbol to a lot of people. Thank you, brother.